Pipe down, lib. Your hero is cooked, but don't worry, because you could join the best place for political commentary on the internet, here, the Nuxanor channel. Unfortunately for libtards around the world, the largest leftist political streamer of all time, well known for his rational takes and support of terrorism, he's cooked. He's cooked. So recently, on the most critically acclaimed series on the entire internet, the Hasan Piker is franchise. Everyone loves it. Everyone knows it. New vid just dropped. 280% done. His friends, the that he supports, as I've proven in this video, are getting by Trump. Because, you know, they're terrorists and they're bombing American ships and shit. And yeah, unfortunately, that's not going to fly for them. So, our boy over here, Hasan Piker, had quite the meltdown the other day. So, we're doing all the correct tabulations of how he is at any given point in time. And we are moving up on the f***ometer. Bro is 285% right now because he had an entire crash out that his homie are getting bombed. So don't worry, guys. We're going to look at that. The Houthis also made a response. Hassan responded to Trump. The Houthis responded to Trump. It's a good day. It's a good day. Now, the number will keep going up until Hassan actually faces justice. Listen, anything over 100%, that's just a downfall waiting to happen. We're investing in this downfall now, all right? We're gonna enjoy the proceeds as they evolve. So it all started with this. President Donald J. Trump released a tweet to all Houthi terrorists. Your time is up. Today he ordered the United States military to launch decisive and powerful military action against the Houthi terrorists in Yemen. Now, as I've already covered, these are for a very long time. They've attacked American ships, multiple American ships. They have kidnapped civilians, Japanese people. They've bombed ships that were going from fucking Turkey to India. Right? The Houthis, they're terrorists. They're freaking terrorists, okay? Let's not blur the lines. They're freaking terrorists. Seriously, fuck them, honestly. And it's a glorious day that, yes, when they fuck around, they do in fact find out. This is the way of the world, and I'm glad that finally order is returning. So, anyway, I covered this situation yesterday, so I'm not going to get too deep into this. So definitely check out for the full context of how fucked Hassan is and endless proof of him directly supporting Houthi terrorists. You definitely need to check out how Hasan Piker is 280% fucked. But right now he's 285% fucked because he thinks that he's not going to be let back into America. His words, not mine. So, highlights, Donald Trump said, to all Houthi terrorists, your time is up. Your attacks must stop starting today. If they don't, hell will rain down upon you like nothing you have ever seen before. I won all 7 swing states, majority in the public. I am the most beloved president, lowered the price of eggs, and lowered the amount of Houthis. That's probably what he said in the extended version, but I'm sure his editor cut that part out. But anywho, so this over here is Hasan Piker, the largest leftist political streamer in the world. Bro is 285% cooked. He is fucking around, and he will find out, and it is only a matter of time until all that happens. So this is a 40-minute clip from his entire stream where he yaps and complains and shits about all of this garbage. I'm gonna make things a little better for you. We're not watching all of this, don't worry. I cut down 4 moments in this stream because he knows that I'm watching, all right? Or he knows that he's being watched. He doesn't want to end up increasing the percentage on the How Fucked is Hasan Piker franchise, you see. So he is minding his words very carefully. So I can limit you to 4 times where he acts like a complete retard in this clip. In this giant stream of his. I sift through his shit at this point. You know, listen, I gotta say, this man, he's keeping us fed and entertained, so respect him for that. But anywho, so this is how it all starts. When a random chatter says to him, "You mad?" Now, I get people telling me "you mad" in chat all the time. Most of the time, I ignore them. Hassan's response is a little more unhinged.
"Well, you're so mad." Am I? Does it seem like it, or does that make you feel like the commentary is based because you can't just like enjoy it for what it is? You have to assume that the person, some lib is owned somewhere. You are the guy.
Yes, there I am. I wake up and some lid is owned somewhere in the world. Pipe down, libtard. You're cooked.
Yeah, I'm seething.
I love how he repeats it 17 times just to prove how not mad he is.
So mad. Oh man.
He is mad.
Oh.
Right.
Oh, you.
See, now if he wasn't mad, he would just move on. But since he is mad and coping and seething.
Got me. Deaf mad. We're winning. We're winning. My brother has cancer and Trump cut cancer grants, but we're winning.
And you gotta love the fucking equivalencies that he always does. He's like, they bombed terrorists, all right? They killed terrorists that were attacking American ships, all right? This is a good thing. Hassan's response, they cut cancer grants. Yeah, yeah. Your brother's gonna die of cancer, huh? Got him.
It's all good. It's going to a good place. It's going to a good place to kill people in Yemen, to kill children. Oh.
Great way to rephrase that. They killed terrorists. Dude, I absolutely fucking love this guy every single time. Bro, these are terrorists. It's the easiest shit in the world to condemn. Obviously, he's never condemned terrorists. You know, in my opinion, he is a terrorist, or a terrorist sympathizer at the very least. But the funniest shit in the universe, is the whole Trump is bombing children in Yemen. He's really trying to pull out the genocide card whenever he possibly can to reframe it. You know whose fault it is that any civilian in Yemen dies because of Trump's attacks? The terrorists in Yemen that are attacking the ships and using civilians that are sitting next to him as human fucking shields. It is their fault. Trump is defending his people, his country, his ships, and he has every fucking right to against terrorists. And if terrorists don't give a flying fuck about any civilians that are near them, it is on the terrorists' hands.
Oh, we're winning so hard. You must be mad. Why you always talk about Asmon? Dog, this is literally, he's
just getting absolutely bodied by his chat. It's very funny. I personally very much like it. But we don't need to watch the entire public meltdown every time he has one. All right, these are only relevant meltdowns. His next very funny one is a few minutes later, right after this. Dude, this one, every time he says it. So, Asmongold is reading the Trump tweet. This is the reason why I wanted to show you the Trump tweet earlier. Asmongold is reading the Trump tweet, okay? And this is his commentary.
Your time is up, and your attacks must stop, starting today. If they don't, hell will rain down upon you like nothing you have ever seen before.
This is so, I mean, yeah, no, this is good. This is good stuff. Why is this making him come so hard? He has to. I think he's faking it, first of all. I think
he's so fucking delusional. Hasan Piker, this piece of shit, 285% fucked. He thinks with his whole heart that the terrorists are the good guys. He can't even comprehend that someone might actually be happy when terrorists that attack American ships get bombed by America. Like, it's so far-fetched to him. Asmongold has to be faking it.
I think this is the fakest orgasm I've ever seen, okay? And I watch Brazzers, and this is way faker than that.
I mean, he also goes to brothels in Germany that are later shut down for sex trafficking children, but people don't want to know about the Artemis situation.
I think he has a role to play, so he's just like, oh, so sick. Oh, I love that he's doing it to the Houthis. Like, you don't know what the Houthis were or are.
The Houthis committed acts of terrorism for the last 10 fucking years, all right? They have assassinated kings, all right? They've bombed ships. They've kidnapped civilians. You know what? Fuck all of that. Put a pin in all of that shit, all right? They shoot missiles into Israel over the last decade, just into civilian areas. But you know what? Fuck all that shit. They use child soldiers. They literally arm and train and activate child soldiers to commit acts of terror so that they get killed. Okay? All right? Let's just put it, these are bad guys. These are very bad guys. Oh my God. Holy shit.
You don't know where the Yemen is. You don't know any of this shit. Can't wait for him to be like, oh, Hassan, here's a video where you can't find Yemen on a map. Got him.
See, I personally think that is a really good got him. I love that Hassan realized exactly what he was doing as he was saying it. Like, as he was saying that Asmongold doesn't know anything, as he was talking about how little Asmongold understands about you know, whatever. Hassan then realized that he doesn't know where Yemen is on the map, so he had to call out this fucking clip. He had to call it. This is Hassan trying to find Yemen on the map.
For the better part of a decade. He's known this shit, for a decade. He knows all of this, okay? And this guy is clicking like fucking Turkey or India as Yemen.
Dude,
all right?
it's
Decades. Great. Over a decade, he said. I'm pretty sure. Maybe. I hope Ethan has the clip.
I'm closing it.
Yeah,
I think.
Nope.
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 Nope. Nope.
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah. And it only took him 20 minutes to find Yemen on the map. Even though he's written articles about Yemen, he's defending Yemen, he's friends with terrorists in Yemen. That's our guy. First try, baby. First try. Anyway, he does a lot more fake orgasming to talk about how Asmongold is faking his reactions because there's no way he'd actually be happy that Trump is killing terrorists. Like, that's insane. Only crazy people are happy when terrorists die. I mean, that's coming from Hasan Piker because he supports terrorists. Definitely check out the Hasan Piker's 200% fucked video where I cover in great detail that he supports terrorists. But you gotta check out this part of the video because it only gets better from here.
That's why I always say, like, Americans can think that they're not bloodthirsty while still actively advocating for the empire to continue.
That's the greatest line I've ever heard. I had to share that nugget with you. Americans, they make believe they're not bloodthirsty. You know, says the man who's out there supporting terrorists that are just, you know, raping and murdering innocent people. Like, and every American just bloodthirsty. There's bloodthirsty Americans. One more time, in case you didn't catch it. I think this one's a real nugget, for real, for real.
That's why I always say, like, Americans can think that they're not bloodthirsty while still actively advocating for the empire to continue. Right. Things have changed, Hassan, and there won't be cops. It's all drone strikes.
Yeah. Anyway, and then he reads some chat messages. I just thought that comment is like so fucking nutty. It just goes to show that he hates America. And I think he should move, personally. I think they'd love him in Yemen. Bro, I think that they would worship him in Yemen. All right, but so one final little moment from this massive video of his. And then I'll show you, scared that they're not going to let him back into the country.
Just in general, stupid comments like this, they're not sending their best.
All right, so now Hassan is about to hit us with his hard-hitting analysis of why people are anti-terrorist.
And that's why we're sending them back. Too bad, isn't it?
A lot of I think conservative vendetta does actually come from being a fucking loser.
The reason why Americans want to kill conservatives want to kill terrorists is because they're pathetic fucking losers. Good analysis.
You feel in your heart that there's a lot that you desire that you can't reach. And I'm not talking about Asmongold because I think he's living his best life. But like people in his audience are genuinely fucking losers, right? So they're like, at least we're hurting someone else. It's playground bullying.
Yeah, it's playground bullying.
Shit.
Yeah, that's why conservatives support killing terrorists, because they just want to hurt someone because they're so hurt themselves and pathetic. So they don't want to be hurting, so they just want to hurt someone else. Brilliant analysis by the largest leftist political streamer of all time. Yes, that is the only possible reason you could possibly want to kill terrorists. This guy's fucking crazy, and it's very funny, personally. There were some pretty banger memes floating around, dude. I don't know if you see Hassan. U.S. strikes Houthi targets in Yemen. No, Luffy. I don't know. This is just a good day for me, personally. Hassan made some pretty great tweets. He's the peace candidate, by the way. By the way, I'm just saying, if a terrorist bombs your shit and you don't punish them, you are incentivizing to bomb more of your shit. However, if a terrorist bombs your shit and you blow the fuck out of them, then yes, with all due respect, that is the peace candidate. Peace through strength is a real thing. You incentivize terrorists to not commit acts of terror if they know they get punished. If they don't get punished, they commit more acts of terror. Like, what I don't understand why Hassan thinks if a terrorist bombs you, you need to give them a blowjob. But apparently, that's his thing. And the way he covers this is unreal. Surely bombing one of the poorest countries on the planet for implementing a blockade against Israel for the crime of doing a genocide will make people love us and Israel this time. Another $1 billion wasted here instead of social safety nets. We must never heal our attack dog. Every time he makes a tweet like this, there's like 5 separate lies. Somehow you manage to put 5 separate lies in a single tweet. It is insane. All right, so these are the Houthis, you know, the people that outwardly, like, these signs are Arabic for death to America, death to Israel, curse upon the Jews. All right, those are the people that Hassan is fighting for. And bro, and Hassan is gonna sit here and just reframe this in the worst possible way ever. They're bombing Houthi terrorists because Houthi terrorists are bombing civilians and American ships. Like, why is he such an unbelievable propagandist that gets platforms everywhere when he is an actual terrorist advocate constantly? Constantly. Bro, Hassan doesn't do the blowjobs to the terrorists himself. He has Ludwig do it. I don't know, man. That's a good insight. But anywho, I wanted to show you this clip because I think this one's incredible. This is maybe the best Hassan clip of the day. Definitely lock in because this is my favorite one. This is my favorite one. Easily my favorite Hassan clip of the day. So lock in. He's afraid he's not getting back into America.
Interrogated at Logan Airport. This guy was denied like water. Senior described Schmidt being violently interrogated at Logan Airport for hours and being stripped naked, put in a cold shower by 2 officials, and being put back onto a chair. She says Schmidt told her immigration agents pressured him to give up his green card. She said he was placed on a mat in a bright room with other people at the airport with little food or water, suffered sleep deprivation, and was denied access to his medication for anxiety or depression. I do legitimately believe that the next time I fucking travel out of this country, I feel like I'm cooked.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's only light, I'm just saying, what a glorious day. What a glorious day. Turns out, supporting terrorists, not good for your future. Nuxgasm incoming.
I feel like it's just, I mean, they're just doing it to everybody. You know, they got to do it to an American citizen at some point.
Right.
It's coming.
It's coming. Yeah.
He hardly got anything to drink, and he wasn't feeling very well, and he collapsed. Interrogated at...
Turns out supporting terrorists, not good. Not good. This is so sad. Oh, God, this is so sad. One more.
For anxiety or depression. I do legitimately believe that the...
What is it that you legitimately believe?
Next time I fucking travel out of this country...
What's going to happen next time you travel out of this country?
I feel like I'm cooked.
I
feel like it's just... I mean, they're just doing it to everybody.
Turns out it's a terrible day for terrorists. Literally no one is happy except for people that don't like terrorists. So look at that. It's a win. Another W for the How Fuck This Hasan Piker franchise. Truly a glorious day. Now, the Houthis also responded. I didn't watch this yet, but Fox News just posted this. How the Houthis are threatening the U.S. after the airstrikes in Yemen. So I'm excited. Let's see what the Houthis have to say. Hell yeah. Houthi drama going crazy right now.
To a story we've been following very closely, and that is the latest on the war between Israel and Hamas. You are taking a live look over the Israel-Gaza border at this hour, as the Israel Defense Forces says if the Hamas terror group does not agree to the terms of an extension of the ceasefire hostage release deal, the Israeli military will resume fighting in Gaza. At the same time, if you were watching us just yesterday, we brought this to you as breaking news, the airstrikes by the U.S. on the Houthis. Take a look at some of this video coming in from the Department of Defense.
Oh my God!
As far
It's a buster call! Poor Luffy!
as Yemen's Houthi terror group says, it will, quote, meet escalation with escalation after this weekend's U.S. strikes that targeted
The Houthis, they're not, they don't understand. They don't understand. It's not Biden anymore. They're dealing with somebody else. They don't get it, bro. They don't get it, dude. Oh my God, that's crazy. They haven't seen the chart. Oh well.
the Iran-backed group.
But here's the thing. Let's say the Houthis fire back. All right, what's the American response? Obviously firing back. Will that kill innocent civilians? Probably yes. And is that unfortunate? Yes. Is it tragic? Yes, it is. It is truly tragic. But it's the fucking terrorists' fault. The blood is on their hands. They're firing these fucking missiles knowing that America is gonna attack back.
Terror group claims the U.S. strike Saturday killed at least 31 people, and U.S. officials tell Reuters that this is just the start of the strikes that could continue now for weeks upon weeks. So a lot to kind of see how it plays out. The Houthis calling the strikes by the U.S. a quote-unquote war crime. As always, so much to discuss, so I do...
That's the classic maneuver. Be a terrorist, attack innocent people, they attack back. That's a war crime! Classic terrorist maneuver, works every time. Hassan out there, ready to run defense immediately.
Want to bring in Mark Chandler, Director of Government Relations and Professor of Practice at Coastal Carolina University, also a former senior defense intelligence official. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us here.
You're welcome, Josh. Good afternoon.
All right.
Good afternoon. Well, first off, I do want to kind of go in reverse a little bit and talk to you about the U.S. strikes on the Houthis. We learned about that maybe about 24 hours ago here. What was the initial message that the U.S. was trying to send there? Because you could say that it was to target the Houthis, but was it also to maybe send a message to Iran?
Ooh.
Josh,
Yeah, that is the good question, because the Houthis are backed by Iran, as are, you know, Hamas and Hezbollah and all, like, the fucking terrorist organizations there.
I think you're absolutely right. We have a couple of messages that the U.S. is trying to send here. One,
I mean, I think basic proof of that is the fact that if you look at Trump's tweet to all Houthi terrorists, your time is up, right? And when he says to all Houthi terrorists, your time is up, your attacks must stop, blah, blah, blah. And then he specifically added in his tweet to Iran, support for the Houthis must end immediately. Do not threaten the American people, their president, who has received one of the largest mandates in presidential history. I am so big. My cock is huge, not like yours. Your little pencil penises are cringe. That's what Trump said to them, you know?
but let's stop the Houthis and tell them that they should not resume their attacks. The second one is messaging Iran. And if I can break this down a little bit, you know, something that I have talked about over the last year and a half that you and I have been going over this conflict is a message of deterrence. And that is something that the Biden administration did very poorly. They did not try to deter Iran from future attacks or deter the Houthis.
I mean, they gave Iran tons of money. The Biden administration was like, all right, guys, no drill, baby, drill. Therefore, we need oil from other places. Therefore, let's give money to Iran. And it's like, guys. So the funny thing is, Biden also said we're going to do shit about the Houthis, but he never actually did anything. In fact, even, I think, removed them from the terrorist list for a brief portion of time.
They kind of hit back. And I think as we see what's happening, there's been a lot of rhetoric coming out of the White House, but there hasn't been a lot of action. And I think what you're starting to see now is some action, and that is what you really need to establish deterrence. So
100%. If they shoot your ship, you have to fight back. Because if you don't, that basically just gives them a green light to keep doing it. It's really basic. It really is. Now, I have a lot of geniuses in my chat that are telling me, oh, Nux, it's such a baby take. It is literally not a baby take. I feel like everyone is a human rights member at this given moment in time. But realistically, when a terrorist attacks you, you gotta slap them back, or they're just gonna fucking do it again.
So who are we deterring? First off, if we recall, the Houthis about a week and a half ago said that they would begin striking Israel if Israel did not open up the corridors again for aid going into the Palestinians and to Hamas. Then a week ago, they gave them a 4-day deadline, if you will. And so I think what you're doing is you're seeing the U.S. strike back or strike first before the Houthis can initiate those offensive operations. And so this was a very well-coordinated strike. It went in there and started to hit them before they could do it. And as a reminder, the Houthis have conducted almost 300 attacks against shipping through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the Red Sea, and about 150 of those on U.S. shipping. So,
bro, that's what they call terrorists. Yeah. Turns out you bombed 150 American ships over the last year. Yes. If you fuck around too much, you might find out. For some reason, Biden never helped them find out. Literally, Biden never helped them find out appropriately. Again, I have someone in my chat saying, slap the terrorists, not the innocents around them. Guys, I agree. In a perfect world, we would have a death note, okay? And the names of all of the terrorists, and they would write the names of the terrorists in the death note as they shot their missiles. But realistically, the terrorists are hiding in fucking bunkers under schools and shit, and what do you expect to do? If you never fight back, it'll just make it worse. War is messy, war is tragic. If they bomb your shit, you gotta bomb them back.
that's try to deter them from that and attacking Israel itself. Now, the second message, and the one that you keyed on, is the one to Iran. Also, about a week ago, President Trump sent the letter to Iran saying, let's negotiate an end to your nuclear weapons program. And the supreme leader, I think right before we were on the air last week, he turned that down without a doubt. There's not going to be a negotiation. We're not going to do that. And then President Trump said, if you don't negotiate, we could go to military escalation. And I think what this message shows right here to the Iranians also is that we can reach out at a time and place of our choosing and select the targets we want and do a precision campaign. And so that's what they sent this message to both of those parties out there.
And I do have to ask here, because we've talked about this situation, you and I, so many times here before, but that warning that was issued by the Houthis to the U.S. after those strikes, what does that say to you? Because
it's 100% posturing. The Houthis don't want to look weak after they got bombed. They are scared shitless, okay? They don't want to look weak. So therefore, they're going to puff their chest out. They're going to slap their pathetic, tiny, little, unwashed meats on the table. And they're going to be like, we're going to hit back just as hard. Bro, what are you going to hit back with? Sharp sticks? Holy shit, guys. The Houthis are not like some major giga world-defying threat. But they are terrorists. They are terrorists that are attacking innocent people. And it cannot keep going.
Is that really a warning, or do they fear what the U.S. could do? Because I have to imagine the U.S. has a much stronger military than the Houthi terror group.
Yeah, you can imagine, huh? But yeah, really, you don't say.
Well, conventionally speaking, the U.S. absolutely outclasses the Houthis in military capabilities.
It's such a fucking joke. The Houthis are not like a powerful military force, okay? They're really not. The only thing is, you don't want to, obviously America doesn't want to bomb innocent people if they could avoid that. Understatement of the millennia.
However, I don't think one series of strikes is going to deter the Houthis. Immediately after the strike, they said they would attack, and they actually did attempt a missile attack a few hours ago. Now, that missile, it either failed or was intercepted because it landed on the Egyptian side of the Sinai.
Dude, holy shit, this is one of the most unbelievable goddamn flexes in anime. All right, they attack an American ship, so America bombs them back. They say, we will have our revenge. They shoot one gay, pathetic missile that lands in Egypt. Oh, well, listen, they tried, I guess, whatever. I think out of all the Houthi missiles that were fired into, like, Israeli civilian territories, I think they were all blocked, actually. Every single one of them. Thank God. Yeah, listen. These fuckers.
It looks like it might have been going against...
Listen, Luffy doesn't have Frankie on board, all right? Listen.
Eilat in southern Israel. That's down on the Red Sea port. It's a Red Sea port town.
What did he call it?
Against Eilat.
A lot? A lot. Okay, all right. He was like, a lot, oi a lot. And I had no idea. A lot. It's a very southern city in Israel.
In southern Israel. That's down on the Red Sea port. It's a Red Sea port town in southern Israel. So it could have been going there, or it could have actually been going further up into Israel. So they have already attempted that. I don't know that they're going to stop, because they have been successful in other attacks against Israel. If you recall, they've caused damage and casualties in Tel Aviv itself with some long-range attack UAVs and long-range missiles that have gotten through Israeli defenses. So I think they're ready to attack. They still have the capability to attack if they so choose, and I think they will.
As the U.S.
Yeah, they're cooked. They're cooked. The major question is, how cooked will they be? Will they reach Hassan levels of cooked is the question.
Again, you kind of already touched on this, but the U.S. weakening of the Houthis, is that happening right now? Because you said one strike isn't necessarily going to do it, but...
It's so much more about the deterrence than anything, I think. I really do. I really think it's more about the deterrence than anything. I think bombing them in retaliation for them attacking 150 American ships will make the Houthis stop attacking American ships to some degree. And if they do it again and they get bombed again, eventually they will learn to stop doing that shit. And that's the point. Because if you just let it go unchecked, they're just going to keep doing it. They're going to keep kidnapping innocent people, bombing innocent ships. And honestly, it's the only thing you can do. You can't let terrorists get away with acts of terror. They're the fucking bad guys. Yes, it's as easy as that. Yes, they had horribly difficult childhood lives, and I feel for all of them, but they're the bad guys.
How strong are the Houthis maybe now compared to what they were a week, 2 weeks, months ago?
Well, if we look at this is a single strike. And so when I look at that, the last time they were hit was when the British, the United States, and Israel, all over a couple of days, struck a lot of targets across the Houthi infrastructure, a lot of missile storage facilities, UAV storage facilities, and command and control, similar to what was hit last night. So when you look at that, it's been 2 months. And I've been saying since that time that they're moving their equipment around. They're trying to get them in more protective locations, better bunkers, if you will, at that, and kind of resupplying themselves. There's also that resupply chain from Iran that is going to need to be interdicted seriously. So right now, there's a lot of battle damage assessment, BDA, being discovered, are being looked at by the U.S. intelligence community to see, one, how successful were we really against the targets we went to hit, and did we accomplish our objectives, like degrade, destroy, or whatever those objectives might be for a command and control or a missile storage facility. There should be another series of attacks. As you just reiterated, not one attack is going to stop them or weaken them. They fought a 10-year war with the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, basically to a tie. And
obviously, it's not going to eliminate them because the thing is, and the issue is, every time you strike terrorists back, it does breed more terrorists. Because, you know, the terrorists are going to use America striking them as propaganda to build up more people and radicalize more people that definitely did have family that were unfortunately killed in these attacks. And realistically, that sucks. But that doesn't mean you could just let it fester and let them get away with this shit. I know it's dark and shit, but whatever, that's life. Very sorry Hassan is losing all of his friends, but, you know, whatever.
So they haven't been deterred throughout this entire war that's been going on with Israel and Hamas. So I would offer that a campaign, which is a series of days or weeks of airstrikes or missile strikes, needs to be conducted to...
Oh my God! This guy's even more intense than Trump! Trump says we're not gonna be nice anymore. This dude's like, we need a campaign of fucking strikes, guys. All right? One was not enough. Holy fuck.
Truly weaken and take away the capability. They're not going to have the capability now to strike like they did at the height of their attacks against Israel or the shipping. But they can still negatively impact that commercial shipping, go against U.S. ships in the Red Sea, which right now there's a lot of targets for them. And then they can still hit Israel. So you're going to have to do a sustained campaign to really weaken them to the point where they're not going to attack.
I want to talk about the other developments because if you look there on the left.
I love this dude. He doesn't even have he has no commentary. He's like, okay, bomb the shit out of them. Moving on.
Hand side of your screen, that's a live look over the Israel-Gaza border. And I mentioned off the top here that the IDF, the Israel Defense Forces.
Yeah, whatever. Anywho, we're not talking about that. Not talking about that. Not talking about that. Not the point. I want to see what the Houthis are up to. Apparently there was a new Houthi situation. Ooh. U.S. warships shoot down Houthi drones. Okay, so the Houthis are firing back. Oh, fuck. Anyway, Houthis fighting back. Let's see what's going on. These are like the brand new updates.
Continuing to follow the latest after a series of airstrikes ordered by President Trump on the Houthi-held areas in Yemen on Saturday, promising to use overwhelming lethal force until the Iran-backed rebels cease their attacks on the shipping along a vital corridor there in the Red Sea. And Fox News earlier today, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz was on that program, detailed the latest on what's coming, what's happening there in that region.
All right.
Move to the airstrikes on Houthi targets in Yemen. Officials called this an opening salvo for the attacks on shipping in the Red Sea, but it followed the president reaching out to the Ayatollah, basically trying to restart talks on their nuclear program. Netanyahu's been pushing for the U.S. and Israel to do a joint operation on Iran's nuclear facilities. And the Ayatollah rejected the president's request for talks. Is that kind of a joint operation under consideration now?
Well, let's talk about the situation that we inherited in the Red Sea and the Suez Canal. We have not had a U.S. warship transit that area in over 4 months. We haven't had a U.S. flagged commercial vessel in over a year. 70% of global shipping has been diverted from two of the world's most strategic waterways, adding cost and complexity to global commerce.
Hassan out there losing his mind that money is going into these wars when the like, dude, that was literally his whole tweet. Where's his fucking tweet? God, all his tweets are so bullshit. Another $1 billion wasted here instead of social safety nets. Do you know how much money is wasted because you have fucking terrorists attacking 150 plus American ships where 70% of American ships had to navigate somewhere else and not use these waterways because of terrorists? Terrorists that, let me remind you, shout death to America? Listen, I know you don't want your homeboy Luffy to catch a couple of fucking drone strikes, but dog, this is an economic problem. Terror is bad. I stand by this completely. Terror is bad. If you're fucking killing innocent people and shit, yeah, you can eat shit. You fuck around, you find out. Listen, not making light of an obviously traumatic situation. I'm just saying, fuck you, go away, please die, thank you.
That's what we inherited. The president has decided that's completely unacceptable.
It is.
But we're not going to do what
it is. Why should America's ships get bombed and destroyed and crews kidnapped and need to literally reroute transit because of some fucking hipster pirate bullshits? Right? Seriously, why? The answer is they don't need to do that. So they blew the shit out of them. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just love the Hassan crash out so much. He's like, he thinks that the only people that support attacking terrorists must be like people that are suffering in their own lives. There's no way they can actually support attacking terrorists. Is everyone retarded? Am I the only I'm retarded too. But come on, guys. There has to be some non-retard that sees this for what it is. These are fucking terrorists bombing American shit. Yeah. Unfortunately, if they fuck around, they'll find out.
The Biden administration did in terms of this kind of pinprick back and forth. We hit the Houthi leadership, killing several of their key leaders last night, their infrastructure, the missiles. This is essentially al-Qaeda with sophisticated Iranian-backed air defenses and anti-ship cruise missiles and drones that has intact the entire global economy.
Okay.
Bro, they actually knocked off a couple of leaders? Sheesh! Successful orange maneuver. That's what we call it. Team Orange takes a couple of dubs.
President Trump showed leadership, and we just hit them with overwhelming force put Iran on notice that enough is enough with its backing of the terrorists and providing them the most sophisticated weapons that have attacked our warships dozens and dozens of times. All of that alongside an offer of diplomacy in terms of all options are on the table for their nuclear program.
All right, you're just listening in there to Mike Waltz earlier today on Fox News talking about the sophistication of this Houthi group, the Houthi rebels there in that region. And of course, this is a message not only to them, but also to Iran. And we're also learning more information since those airstrikes were carried out early on Saturday morning. This a post from Fox News' Lucas Tomlinson saying that the U.S. warships have shot down about a dozen drones.
God damn, they're actually fighting back. Oh my God, they're not stopping to fuck around. They're going to continue finding out, guys.
Targeting the Truman strike group since the airstrikes last night. This, according to a senior defense official. The drones were shot down well before they posed a serious threat, the official added. And of course, these airstrikes come days after the Houthis said they would resume attacks on Israeli vessels sailing off Yemen in response to the latest blockade by Israel in Gaza. All right, let's continue on with this conversation. I want to bring into the conversation Vice President for Foreign Policy with Jinza, Blaise Mistal. Blaise, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now from Fox for the latest. What do we make of this latest round of airstrikes by the U.S. against the Houthis, and what type of message is President Trump trying to send?
Good afternoon, Andy. It's good to be with you.
All right.
I think this action is long overdue. And National Security Advisor Waltz was absolutely correct when he said that the situation in the Red Sea has been unacceptable. If 2 years ago
100%.
You had asked any U.S. national security official if the U.S. could accept a ragtag group of terrorists using basically flying lawnmowers to
Wait, what? No, dude.
stop maritime traffic going.
Bro, I told you they were hipster pirate terrorists. They were launching flying lawnmowers at ships. Holy crap, that's insanity.
Through one of the most important areas in the world, an area through which 10% of all global energy and something like 30% of all commercial container traffic goes through, everyone would have said that is not acceptable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Every time Trump does something that I think that is just unanimously appreciated and accepted, he somehow finds a way to get the Democrats to oppose the most basic bitch shit of all time. You see Democrat meltdowns over attacking the Houthis and over deporting terrorist supporters that are not American citizens. Like, dog, can you please stop? I would love the Democratic Party to get a lot of W's. Also, listen, I want both parties to be good parties so that both of them could push each other to be even better. Why are you like this? Is it just to give me content? Because if so, thank you. Thank you. Okay, keep shooting flying lawnmowers or whatever the fuck happens.
That a fundamental interest of the United States, a reason that we have the Navy and the military that we have, is to protect the global freedom of navigation, to make sure that energy and commerce can flow around the world.
Yeah, the reason why there's a military is because if someone attacks your shit, you fight back. Okay? I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm trying to speak with basic human logic. Okay? If someone walks into your house, kills a family member, and then bitches out and runs into their little hole, sure as fuck you're gonna blow the shit out of that hole.
Because we benefit from that. And yet that's exactly what we allowed to happen for the last 18 months, is this group of terrorists to divert billions and billions of dollars of commerce through a crucial waterway.
Unacceptable.
And the Biden administration did very little about it. There was a handful of pinprick attacks by the Biden administration that hit maybe some weapons storage facilities, maybe some logistics hubs, but did very little damage to the Houthis. And then it's no wonder that this group kept on firing at both commercial ships and...
You need a deterrent. Listen, the issue with the Biden, all right, we got to whip out the chart again. I'm sorry. So the thing is with Biden, this is not how the Biden graph looks. The Biden fuck around, find out graph, it's like this. It's like this. Trump, if you fuck around, you find out. But with Biden, bro, Biden auto pen or whatever the fuck was running that presidency didn't give a flying shit about any of this.
U.S. vessels. And so putting a stop to this is absolutely important. But the question is, what is the Trump administration strategy here? How do they plan to get the Houthis to back down? Heavy strikes going after the Houthi leadership is obviously a major advance from what we saw the Biden administration do. But we haven't really heard yet what is the plan? How do they think they're going to win this? How are they going to make the Houthis back down?
Yeah, and we'll get into that. What's next? Big question in just a little bit. I do want to ask you about that, how this is different from the Biden administration, because we have seen a different tone as they also designated the Houthis as a foreign terrorist organization. This, a post from Mike Waltz, who we also just saw on Fox News during that segment, talking about President Trump taking decisive action against the Houthis to protect American personnel and assets. Feckless leadership emboldened the Houthis. In terms of this, you mentioned the...
I mean, he's right. If someone commits an act of terror and they're not punished for it, you're emboldening them to commit more acts of terror. Obviously.
The little small airstrikes by President Biden versus what's going on with Trump. Can you decipher a little bit and give more understanding on how they are different than what we saw in the previous administration?
That's it. Good question.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple differences that we're seeing so far, and we're about 48 hours into this. The first is a preference for offense over defense. The Biden administration mostly deployed U.S. military assets in and around the Red Sea to try to stop, that is, defeat the drones and the missiles that the Houthis were shooting at.
That's unbelievable pussyfooting maneuver. And then Trump came along, grabbed Biden by the pussy, and took over. So basically, Biden just kind of said, all right, if they shoot missiles, we'll try to make sure that those missiles don't hit anybody. That was Biden's strategy. But they're not at all trying to dissuade them from actually shooting the fucking missiles in the first place. See, that's peace through force. I love how everyone's like, you got your Hassan tweet, right? You got your Hassan tweet. He's the peace candidate, by the way. Yes, quite literally, if someone bombs you and you bomb them back and then they stop bombing you, that is the peace candidate. However, if someone bombs you and you're like, I don't want to get involved, they'll just keep bombing you again. Putting your foot down is necessary. Again, Hassan doesn't understand this, but these are terrorists, okay? He supports them, but they are terrorists.
Ships going through that area.
And it is unacceptable to have the largest leftist political streamer in the world unchecked support terrorists. Like, what is going on?
That meant that we were shooting missiles that cost millions of dollars to try to take down drones that cost tens of thousands of dollars.
Bro, dude, what is happening? What was Biden doing? Every time they shot a $10,000 drone, Biden shot a $2 million tracking missile to stop the drone, but never actually hit the Houthis back. Dog, actual retard Olympics. I can't believe that Biden lost. It must be racism. That's why Biden lost. Stop with that.
Which is a very costly and ultimately losing proposition. But that was mostly
Imagine being America, the strongest military in the fucking world, losing to ragtag hipster pirates throwing flying lawnmowers at you. Holy shit, how pathetic is that?
The Biden administration's approach. Try to defend the ships going through there.
Oh my God.
Occasionally, there were limited strikes that went out of their way, usually to avoid killing Houthis or civilians, mostly targeting what was believed to be empty infrastructure. And right afterwards, the Biden administration would always say,
actual unbelievable pussies. Unbelievable fucking pussies, honestly. And it's despicable shit. It's a waste of everyone's money. It's a waste of your resources. It's dangerous to your fucking ships. Like, it's so spineless. You know, honestly, they just didn't want people to protest. I really think that's it. They were like, all right, so we're gonna spend these millions of dollars, untold billions, deflecting missiles and shit because we don't want to actually get any hate. We don't want to get any hate, guys. So we're just gonna play it safe. I really think that is exactly what it is.
We don't want to escalate. We don't want this conflict to get wider. And so a big difference here is both the severity of the strikes that we're seeing from the Trump administration, the targets that are being hit. We've heard that there is Houthi leadership that are being targeted. That is a big change. But also the messaging. Whereas the Biden administration always said, we don't want to hit you, we want to back down, we want to...
It is kind of nice to have a president that's not literally just pussyfooting around, fucking standing there. They would shoot a missile at an American ship. America would spend millions knocking down that missile, and then America would be like, we don't want to hurt you guys. Please stop shooting missiles. We don't want to hurt you. Yeah, that'll teach them.
To resolve this, we don't want to escalate. We've heard President Trump saying, we will let hell rain down on you if you don't back down. So there's also a difference in tone and suggestion of what comes next. But I think that is ultimately the question. What does come next? The Biden administration didn't have a plan. It was an attack here, an attack there. There was nothing that really made sense. And so are we just seeing one weekend of strikes, or is this going to be a continued campaign? Is there a plan on what to hit to really make the Houthis hurt? I think that is the question now.
I really think that's kind of nail on the head. You got to make them hurt. Unfortunately, for the reality of the innocents that are surrounding them, you got to make them hurt or they're never going to stop, and it is unacceptable that they keep going. Honestly. Holy shit. No wonder the Houthis don't respect us. For real, for real. Insane. Insane. Biden showed us diplomacy is not possible with them. Guys, I don't want to be rude here, but diplomacy is not possible with terrorists in general. All right, that comes with the territory of them being terrorists. I don't know, man. I think this is fucked up, and I'm very happy that they're actually getting clapped. I think it's long overdue, and I think it is important to have a administration that is actually willing to defend themselves. You know, doing things that people will criticize them for. Largest leftist political streamer will have a meltdown about the inhumanity of bombing terrorists. But honestly, fuck those assholes. Honestly, for real, for real. If they didn't want to get bombed, they shouldn't have been terrorists. That's my opinion. Nux, that's such a basic, lame baby take. Yeah, well, the terrorists are dying and I'm happy. Bye. Definitely subscribe for when he's 290% fucked. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be big. It's gonna be massive, all right? Listen, I hope 300, we're gonna come to some big climax, all right? Hell yeah. It turns out if you support terrorists, it might fuck your life up. At least if society was moral, it might. Like, subscribe, and this video was streamed live on kick.com/Nuxanor. See you there. Stay weird, man.